Opening day for bow season may have a calendar date, but the work that goes into it never truly ends. We spent our summer scouting, putting up trail cams and finding out where to go. And yeah, we might have got busted once or twice after season opened, but the blow was just fuel for our fire, making us burn even hotter. And as we were scouting, we got to see this young buck frolic in a bedding area, giving us the signal that the rest of the herd wasn't far behind. And it might have been playtime for him, but it wasn't for us. It was time to go to work.
Alright, we are in the official first saddle sit of the year, and we're actually in a bedding area right now, and we purposely want to clear deer out of this area, which I know sounds a little weird, but here's the thought process. We know a small buck was bedding here. If we push him out and use this spot for access, which is our safest place for access for the primary wind in this area, then he's going to have to move to one of the other bedding areas on this property, and there's multiple, so he can't move to them. But the other side of the coin is, if we bump him and he goes into a more dominant buck's bedding area, then those bucks are going to push that small buck out of here, and we're not going to shoot that small buck anyways, so that works. So the idea is that deer are going to funnel out of the bedding area in this direction, and then down the hill closer to the evening. Now when I scouted this the other day, we actually had deer in here at around 4 and 4:30-ish, and they were browsing on some of the browse here in this bedding area, so clear this bedding area so the other ones get stacked.
There was certainly no shortage of wildlife, we just had to figure out how the deer were using the area. So we were close. The deer were to our west about 60 to 80 yards, and the only thing that we could do was observe and learn. And right around this time, Hurricane Ian was hitting Florida. The low pressures that were hitting this state was making it very difficult to get into the bedding area and figure out exactly what the deer were doing. So we let this property rest for a day or two, and then came in with a different game plan. And the shifting winds made it tough, but we did not want to go down without a fight. It is literally everywhere. So I think with the sun being out, it is messing with it just a little bit. Once that sun starts to set, I think it'll be more consistent, but for the next hour, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. I think our best bet is that there's a saddle that runs through this cornfield. We're going to get through the corn using that saddle, and our wind's just going to be what it is. And then skirt down the leeward side in the cornfield, and then probably hang out 40 yards off the tree line, maybe 50. And if we see something pop out, actually use the corn to close that gap just a little bit, and then get in there. I think that's the plan. As the evening sun began to cast shadows over the cornfield, 3 doe popped out, and we were ready to make our move.
yards, okay?
Okay.
Missed. Straight up missed. I didn't hit it. I don't care. I'd rather completely miss than wound it.
And full-heartedly, that's the truth. I would much rather completely miss a deer than hit it in a bad spot.
Dang, she's coming right back.
Now, as I was thinking that, I did not realize this doe was going to come back down the hill and investigate what that sound was. For the next 20 minutes, she comes down within 20 and 25 yards, giving me perfect shots. However, there's a very important piece of equipment that I did not have with me. That would be my quiver, sitting on the field edge with Kasey. If I were to tell somebody how to do this hunt, I would say, don't forget your quiver. Do not forget your quiver. And what did I do? Rookie mistake. Left my quiver on the field edge. So as the doe kept getting closer, I knew she was going to win me eventually, so I wound up letting out a couple of coyote howls just to spook her off before she caught my scent. You know what I really needed? This thing.
Oh.
I ranged her. My rangefinder said 31. I put my 30-yard pin right in the basket. And must have ranged corn that was in front of her because she was 35. I went right underneath her.
I watched her run up, and then she came right back down to where you were.
If I had my quiver, she was a perfect 25.
crawling through corn. There's no way you would have been able to.
If I had immediately come back down, grabbed my quiver, and got back to where I was sitting, I probably could have got another shot because she was hanging out there and it took her a while to come back down and she had no idea where to look. But
That was.
I will do that any day of the week and not complain about it. I could have killed her 6 ways to Sunday when she came back down. She was 25 yards. She gave me broadside. She gave me quartering away. She gave me quartering two. I could have taken all the fur off that freaking doe. Oh. I had a corn cob in my hand. If she turned back around, I was going to chuck it at her just so she would spook. And then she started getting closer. She came into 25. And then she came into 20. And I was like, I gotta do something. Like, I have to scare her before she gets
That was
sent.
genius. I wouldn't have never.
She's running right out of there. I know they're just up over the hill. They're still trying to figure it out, but you know what? Stalk through the corn like that, getting the shot off. I'm not mad about that one bit. That's a good way to spend a Sunday. I can't believe I missed. I've never fully missed a deer before.
Congratulations.
Here's the cool thing about this hunt. No harm done. The deer wasn't wounded, and she was never educated to our scent. It is so much better to have a clean miss than a wounded deer. Hunting comes with a lot of emotions, and the guilt of a bad shot is the worst of them. And realistically, what did we just do? Spend time together? Enjoy each other's company for a few evenings? Kasey got a break from nursing school? Our season is just beginning, and if this is the way that it starts, I don't think either of us are going to be mad about it. So we went home and enjoyed our evening together. And we made our favorite venison burger recipe for dinner, talked about our hunt, and could not wait to share the story with our friends and family in the morning.